The BIM execution plan is based on the Penn State plan, which we have since adopted as a fundamental premise for business group specific plans. Again, consult your business group automation coordinator to ensure that there haven't been any business group specific modifications or additions made to the plan. I have attached here, or shown here, the plan itself. We're going to go through a bit of the guide just to give an outline of what the plan is about. Everything else following the plan is the actual files themselves, including the Word document of the plan, as well as templates for opening the plan. So let's delve into the guide a little bit. This BIM execution plan developed by Penn State is robust and comprehensive. It gives an executive summary of what BIM's about and what the purpose of an execution plan is. In a nutshell, you want to plan what you're going to do with BIM so you understand why you're modeling, what you're modeling, and what the end goal is. So the plan, this guide takes you through how to fill out the plan. And it describes the procedures for identifying what your goals are, designing what your process is going to be, developing how you're going to exchange information, and finally what you're going to do with BIM. Now, these BIM use descriptions are interesting in that there's a lot you can do with BIM. This Appendix A lists 21 possible BIM uses, which on the project you can then wean out what you will or won't be doing. And once you've identified what you're doing, your BIM execution plan then leads to you identifying how you're going to do it. So if you've decided that 3D coordination will be part of your project, you include this in your BIM execution plan and thus plan how you're going to do 3D coordination. If digital fabrication will not be done on your project, then you do not include this in your BIM execution plan. I wanted to focus a clip just on this Appendix B. The BIM use descriptions, if you saw the previous lesson talking about the wheel of BIM, these BIM uses, the 1221 of them, expand on that to a very good detail to give you an understanding of what can really be done with BIM. A lot of our projects in CH2M Hill will always have 3D coordination. That's probably the most common, as well as design reviews and generating drawings. But if I just scroll down a little bit, it describes each BIM use. So what it is, the value, resources, competencies, etc. So it takes each BIM use one by one and gives the reader an understanding of what's involved to actually carry this out. And if this is selected for your project, then the idea is to fill out the execution plan of how exactly you're going to do this. So if we're going to do disaster planning, what are we going to do? So the resources, you need a model to be manipulated. You need a knowledge of the automation of the building automation system and the type of emergency response that's required, and then you can plan the disaster through the use of the model. So you can take each step like this, and as you read the resources required and the description of how it is, it can help to formulate how can we actually make this happen on the project, and let's write that within our BIM execution plan. When you're ready to fill out the BIM execution plan, you start here with the template. And what this template is everything you saw in the spreadsheet in the guidance document without the guidance information. So if you scroll through the Word document, it starts by prompting where you need to fill out information section by section. Same table of contents as you saw in the guide document, but it's prompting you where it needs the information, and what the automation lead needs to do is just follow the document, fill out what needs to be filled out, remove what doesn't, and you're good to go. Now there's a lot in here, and oftentimes it's a daunting task to identify what has to be done versus not. Always remember BIM is scalable, and part of this project execution plan is to help that scalability factor. How do you scale BIM down to what you actually need on your project? By going through this plan, it's 18 pages long as a template. It lets you understand what do we need to do and why. And quite honestly, if you can't fill out something in this plan, then there's an issue. You need to identify why you can't fill it out so you can fill it out and then either apply it to the project or identify the fact that it does not need to be applied. Finally, the next question would be, well, who fills out the BIM execution plan? I'm going to use the water business group as an example, but this will be common for many business groups. I'm going to go to the water page, and what I'm going to try to get to is the quality management system. So I'm just going to expand technologies, I'm going to go to the design practice site. This is the main water portal for design projects. And we're then going to go to the project QMS project delivery system guide. And what I'm going to look for here is the project team organization right here. This is the project team link. And it's going to bring up a link where I can get the project org chart. So each business group will have a business group specific org chart. That's probably going to be very similar depending on what roles or disciplines are within the business groups. For example, transportation will have different discipline leads. They won't have structural, they won't have, well, they may have structure, they won't have process and INC, they may have highway, road, and bridge. But I wanted to just point out the automation discipline. So this project automation lead will be the focal point, and it's under this discipline where the BIM execution plan will be taken, explored, and filled out. The automation lead will work with the design manager, the project manager, and potentially even the client to understand what needs to be done so that they can fill out the execution plan accordingly.